What's going on, guys? In this video, I am installing the QA1 setup on the rear of my 67 F100 shop truck. So the installation went really well. It took me, I don't know, just a handful of days, like 4 or 5. And that's to completely strip everything out, notch the frame, grind out all the rivets, clean the frame up, coat the frame, assemble the whole rear end, and then, you know, just doing some miscellaneous stuff while it's convenient to also have the bed off. So really, I mean, you could do it in a weekend probably. So the kit's a torque arm suspension from QA1. It's similar to the 4-link. It's better about the lateral movement, if that makes sense. But as you see in the video, there are a couple bars that come off of the front of the pinion and they tie into a cross member that gets bolted in there. So it just really helps to stiffen up the whole thing. So the reason I bought this suspension kit was because I was watching a long bed truck similar to mine, going around an autocross course and doing fairly well, like very minimal body roll. It was just, it just looked great. And watching that video, I was like, sold, you know what I mean? So I will link to that video as well down in the description. So if you guys want to check it out, you can go look at it. They give more specifics on the kit because obviously the video is from QA1, but basically whenever you choose the kit, you get 3 different spring rates. So I'm just going to refer to them as light, medium, and heavy. I went with the medium one just because I thought for my application as a daily driver. And then obviously I wanted to put some power down to it one day. So, you know, I wanted to build the rear end to handle what the future of the truck is going to be. So obviously right now the suspension kit has already been installed. So we're just going to get right to it with the actual footage of installing the kit. The engine is in. So looking pretty good in there. Basically, the only thing left to do, obviously you're going to run into problems like this. So this is a broken manifold stud. So I left the factory exhaust in there just to see how I could tie it all in. So honestly, it looks like we're just gonna be able to cut this just a little shorter, make a bend and tie it right into there. It's gonna be just fine. All right, so the next thing underneath the truck, this cross member here, it's kind of supporting all the weight of the transmission pan right now. So I don't know if that needs to come out. I'm gonna try to work around and see what I can figure out. But as you can see, it's sitting really high up in there. We can move this transmission cross member forward just a hair and get this to sit at an ideal location, but being all the way up there and having to go to that carrier right there, it's just not, I don't think it's gonna work out. So all right guys, so basically we've got these plates. I'm gonna go over the kit a little bit more as we go through this, but I'm trying to beat some rain that's coming in. But I've got the frame all stripped down, got it, all the rivets out of it, and then just you know, got the surface rust off of it, sprayed it down with some primer and then some flat black just to get something to protect it from further corrosion. Then in the back here, there was a cross member that went across from here to here. So I blasted out the rivets in the top of that, as you can see. And you could go in there and make all those perfect, but I don't really care. But essentially it looks the exact same as the forward cross member there. So basically I'm gonna knock that back to about here, and then I'm gonna put a gas tank in here. So I'll go through that whenever that time comes. So don't worry about the overspray on the exhaust. I will take care of that. All right, so now I'm gonna set the camera up and we're going to bolt these brackets onto the frame rail. All right, guys, so ran into a little storm there, but I got the plates completely mounted on here. Everything's bolted in, and then up here you have to assemble these arms, and then there's a little bushing that goes in there. The default for the manual is the third from the top, so just make sure that you put it in the third through the top on both sides. So but basically these will swing back here and get attached to your rear axle. Essentially it'll get attached down there somewhere near the leaf spring perch. I'll show you guys the little adapter bracket that they have that goes on here, but yeah, essentially it just bolts right in. So all right, guys, so this is going to be the coilover that's going to go on the back from QA1, and there's two different collars here, and I wanted to kind of show you. There's a shoulder on both of them, so this one's smaller, and then this one has a real big shoulder on it. So the smaller one goes on first, but it's really important to make sure that that shoulder is facing up. So the bottom you'll see is flat, and the other side has a shoulder on it. So you need to make sure that this is going to thread on, shoulder facing up, and then you'll immediately put this one on right on top of it. All right, guys, so you should have something that looks like that. And then there's a little steel washer down there. You just lubricate the bottom side of it and stick it down. So basically, the next step is to turn the adjustment knob to the softest setting. Then you're going to extend this to the full length of its stroke, put the spring over, and then there's a little split cap in here. And I'll show you what that looks like when it's all assembled. It's super easy. All right, guys, then you should have something that looks like this. So you got the cap up here at the top. It just slides over there through the split. And then you're going to turn the top adjuster to take up the slack between all this, snug this up, and then your final adjustment will be whenever it goes onto the car. All right, guys, so basically the next step is just to bring the axle back out, get it centered between the frame rails where it's roughly going to be at. Once the bottom's bolted in, I had to end up taking the tire off. The tire was just to make it easier to wheel around, but I had to end up taking the tire off, and just it happened to be the ideal height to where I could set the axle down on the tire, just to, you know, so you can still move it and it's not going to be sitting in the gravel. And then you bolt the top in right here. Don't torque anything down just yet because you want to make sure that everything gets hooked up. But then you're going to roll the axle back up, and then the trailing arm right there is going to go to the center hole on the front of this bracket. And then basically your suspension is at least suspended enough for you to do everything else. So we're going to get everything hooked up like I was just talking about, and then we'll go on to the next one. All right, guys, so this is what you should have after you have all this stuff hooked up here. And then off of the front of your rear end housing right here, it's actually going to, there's gonna be a bracket that goes here and ties into a cross member that's gonna be up here. That'll be the last piece of our control, like fore and aft, I guess. And then we have all the lateral stuff that goes in here to control the side to side movement. So you've got this nice red anodized piece right here. This is a separate piece from this one. So basically those two just bolt with the normal nuts and bolts that are in the 9-inch housing, and then you have these two brackets that are coming off of there. So then this bar will go in its place, and it comes up here. This is a added cross member right here. It's super easy to put in. It's bolt in. It gives you like a baseline measurement from here to here. Mine ended up being a little bit shorter. This you just want to be essentially vertical right here, perfectly straight up and down. And then you've got this little piece over here. So all that stuff just bolts right in, and then you've got this link all figured out. So again, that's going to help set your pinion angle because there's an adjuster down here at the bottom. And essentially that's what this bar is for, is setting your pinion angle, but it's also, of course, controlling forward and backward movement, as well as the torquing part of the suspension. So the coilovers are super easy to put in. There's just these little coilover brackets that go right here. You run your collars down on there like I talked about earlier, and then you just mount the top into here. And then these are just set right now just to take the slack out of this, but later we're going to go, and that's how you're going to adjust your ride height. So I'll do that in a later video. I've also got my fuel system in there, so that turned out pretty good. It's a 70s tank, or a 70s Mustang tank, and then it's through Tanks Incorporated. I'm going to do a completely separate video on this fuel system and how I set it up, so watch out for that if you're looking for an EFI style fuel system. All right, so the last two bars are the support bar that goes down here and straight across to the underside of the frame rail, and essentially that is just like stiffening up that part of the frame. There's a lot of flex in these frames, and I actually had an issue with the panhard bar being just slightly too short, so I actually used that rod to draw in the bracket over here, and then everything lines up perfectly now. So I'm going to show you the panhard bar is essentially for like how you get your axle center, and that's what's going to keep the axle center. So it's really the most important lateral bar that we have. So the issue before was that I was getting very little thread engagement, but now I've got, you know, probably down to here. So much happier with that. Also, another thing real quick, as you can see, this little over the axle part of the exhaust system, to shoot that gap, I mean, it's just not going to work. So with all these bars that are going on, I'd rather just get them out of the way. So I'm going to cut them probably around here, and then we'll try to figure out a way to nicely make them go out in front of the wheels. So yeah, I'm going to have to modify the exhaust system slightly, but that's not going to be a problem. All right, guys, so I wanted to give you a sneak peek of what this ride height is going to look like down here. It's obviously still lifted up on the front. I'm going to put a picture of what I took today when I lowered the front of the truck down, but we are so close to getting this thing completely leveled out. All right, guys, so like I said, the next video is going to be all about the fuel system, and I'm going to slightly go over some of the wiring and stuff like that as well. But yeah, that's going to be in the next video. That's kind of a foreign area for some people, so that's what I'm going to do for the next video. I love the way the truck's looking. I set it down on the ground and just smiled because it was exactly what I had in mind. So I'm super excited to get this thing up and going, get it up on the road. As I said, there will be a video coming very soon on the fuel system setup, because that's kind of a confusing area for some people. So I'm going to do all that, probably get the thing running on the same video. That way, since I'm telling you about a fuel system, you see that the fuel system actually works. So with this whole truck build, you know, it's been a lot of nights going and just getting on the computer, looking up certain pinouts for certain connectors, and even repinning some of the connectors. So it's a lot of research and stuff, but if you just spend time on the computer and just look and read, watch videos and everything, you'll figure it all out. I mean, the hardest part is you're trying to take new technology and make it work with what the factory gave you. You know, we're not like completely rewiring this truck or anything. So we're just trying to figure out how we can take the factory wiring, you know, get a engine management system like the Holley, and then somehow make it work and make it be reliable. I just want this truck to be something that I'm going to be able to depend on every day. All right, guys, so I'm going to get to editing this video, get it out to you guys. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, make sure you're subscribed to the channel, because this truck is going to be on the road super quick. I mean, I've been working on it all day today, and I can tell you that it is very close. So it's extremely close. So it's going to be coming very soon. Anyways, thank you very much for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next video.